Hello students, this is Kanika. Welcome to my channel Prep Biology. So today in this lecture we are going to discuss top 20 previous years questions from chapter number 2 of biology, that is the human reproduction. Okay, so these questions have repeatedly asked in your previous years class 12th board exams. Okay, so let's start with the lecture. The first question is, draw a well-labeled diagram of the human male reproductive system. Label all the parts of it. Okay, so this structure, the male reproductive system is very, very important. Sometimes this diagram have asked in your previous years that labeling of this diagram is also very important. You have a question and you have mentioned this diagram and you have to label the X, Y, Z. These labelings are very, very important. Okay, so this is the male reproductive system having the testicular lobules, retitestis, vas efferentia, vas deferens. Okay, so these all labelings are important and the function of each and every part is also very important. Okay, name the accessory glands and its secretion. So the accessory glands of it are seminal vesicles, prostate gland and bulbourethral gland. Okay, and they are collectively form the seminal plasma, which is rich in the fructose, calcium and enzyme. Okay, so if we talk about the bulbourethral gland, it helps in the lubrication of the penis. So the male reproductive system is very, very important for your exam. So practice this diagram and practice all the labels of this diagram, and also the function of each and every part is important. Okay, so revise it carefully. Next question is, draw the sectional view of seminiferous tubule of a human. Label these parts. Okay, or we have the seminiferous tubule, this is the sectional view of seminiferous tubule, and you have the interstitial cells, spermatogonia, spermatozoa and the Sertoli cell. These all cells or the labeling is important. Diagram is also very important. So if we talk about the function of the Sertoli cell, we know that the Sertoli cell provide the nourishment to the developing embryo. Okay, so it provides the nourishment to the developing embryo, sperm. Okay, and if we talk about the spermatogonia, this structure spermatogonia. So the what is the function of spermatogonia? It helps in the spermatogenesis process in which the sperms are produced. So the spermatogonia grow and form the primary spermatocyte. Okay, and then primary spermatocyte meiosis takes place, secondary spermatocyte formed, and then the spermatids are formed, then they form the sperms. So this is the function of the spermatogonia. And if we talk about the Leydig cell, what is the function of the Leydig cell? Leydig cell, they are present between the Leydig cells or the interstitial cells, they are present between the seminiferous tubules. Okay, and the synthesize and secrete the testicular hormone. Leydig cell secrete or synthesize the testicular hormone called the androgen. Okay, androgens. So androgens example is testosterone. So these are all we have discussed in our previous classes. If you want to check out the explanatory version of these classes, so you can check out the links in the description box. Okay, so this is the diagram. Next question is the difference between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis in the humans. These two processes are itself very important. What do you mean by spermatogenesis? How the sperms are formed, and what do you mean by the oogenesis? What are the chromosomal number of each and every part? Okay, so the difference between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis we have discussed in the previous classes. This is the oogenesis process and this is the spermatogenesis Spermatogenesis process. Okay, so in oogenesis we know that at the end ovum is produced from the oogonia. The primary oocyte formed, first meiotic division takes place. They form the first polar body and the secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte further divide and form the ovum and the second polar body. The chromosomal number of each part is important. And the spermatogenesis, what is spermatogenesis? In which the spermatozoa are formed or the sperms are formed from the spermatogonia. Mitosis takes place, primary spermatocyte formed, first meiotic takes place, secondary spermatocytes are formed, and then spermatids are formed. Okay, so these two structures, these two processes are very, very important for your board exams. Next question is, their difference is important, and the difference according to these 3 points of when the process is initiated. So if we talk about the time of initiation of the process, the spermatogenesis starts in males at the age of puberty, and oogenesis starts in the females during the embryonic developmental stage when a couple of oogonia are formed within each fetal ovary. Second difference according to the number of functional gametes produced per primary spermatocyte. So the site completion on the process, in case of the spermatogenesis, it is completed in the testis and mature sperms are released from the seminiferous tubules. In case of the oogenesis, it is completed in the female reproductive tract. In the ovary, the Graafian follicle rupture and release the ovum, that is called the ovulation. If we talk about the specific site at which meiosis II is completed, in case of the spermatogenesis, it involves equal cytoplasmic division, and in case of the oogenesis, it involves unequal cytoplasmic division. So these are the points we can differentiate the spermatogenesis and oogenesis process. So these two structures are very, very important. So make sure revise these structures carefully. Okay. The next question which I have asked in 2020, 2019, 2023 board exams, that draw the sectional view of the human ovary. Sometimes you have direct question that draw the sectional view of the ovary. This is the sectional view of the ovary, and we have primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, then it matures to Graafian follicle, and then the ovulation occurs. So this is the direct question. Sometimes you have question like this. This question have asked in 2023 board exam, that you have this structure and you have to label X, Y, and Z. Okay, and you have to answer these questions. What is the first question? Identify the X. Okay, so identify the X. That is the, what is X? This is the primary follicle. Okay. So identify the X. Mention the time when the process occurs in the human female. So X is, what is X? X is the primary follicle, and when the process is initiated during the embryonic developmental stage. During the embryonic developmental stage. Okay. Next is identify Y. Y is tertiary follicle, as you all can see here. Okay, when and how it is formed, how the Graafian follicle or the tertiary follicle is formed. So the Graafian follicle is formed during the ovulation stage. Graafian follicle is formed during the ovulation stage when the primary follicles are surrounded by more layers of the granulosa. Okay, so then it gets matured into the Graafian follicle. C is name the hormone produced by Z. So firstly, you have to know that what is Z. Z is corpus luteum. And we know that the corpus luteum secrete which hormone? That is the progesterone. So these kind of questions I have asked in your previous classes. Next is question number 5. Differentiate between spermiogenesis and spermiation. This difference is very, very important. What is spermiogenesis? It is the process of transforming spermatid into the mature spermatozoa. Okay, so the spermiogenesis is when the spermatid converted into the spermatozoa. That process is called the spermiogenesis. Okay, and what is spermiation? It is the process when mature spermatozoa, this is the spermatozoa, mature spermatozoa, they are released from the Sertoli cell into the lumen of the, when they are released from the Sertoli cell into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so the difference between the spermiogenesis and spermiation is very, very important. Note it down carefully. Okay, so name and state the function of interstitial cells present in the human testis. When we talk about the human testis, we have discussed the function of the interstitial cells. Okay, so the interstitial cells, they synthesize and secrete the testicular hormone, that is the androgens. Okay, androgens. Interstitial cells are basically the Leydig cells. Okay, androgens, that is, the example is the testosterone. So as you all can see here, the each and every hormone and their function, their source of secretion is important. So make sure from this chapter you all should know about the hormone and their source of secretion, their function. Okay, next question is explain the ovarian and the uterine events taking place along with the role of the pituitary and the ovarian hormones during the menstrual cycle. So the menstrual cycle, and this chart is itself very, very important. You have in every year you have question from this particular topic. Okay, you have question in form of case studies, you have questions in the form of graphical representation. Okay, so you have a question in form of MCQs, you have question in form of assertion reason. So this particular topic, menstrual cycle, is very, very important. These three phases, menstrual phase, follicular phase and luteal phase, and the hormone secretion by the ovarian hormone and pituitary hormone is important. Okay, you all should know the pituitary hormones are FSH and LH, that is luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone, and the ovarian hormones are estrogen and progesterone. So if you want to check out the case studies related to it, okay, so I have made class regarding it. Okay, so you can check out the links in the description box related to the menstrual cycle case based questions which have asked in your previous years. Okay, so this graph is important, so make sure revise it carefully. Next question is mention the site where fertilization of an ovum occurs in the human female. So where the fertilization in the human female occurs in the ampullary part, or in the ampulla part of the fallopian tube, where the fertilization occurs, where the sperms and ovums fuse with each other. Okay, and explain the process of fertilization. Okay, so how the fertilization takes place? This is the ovum and these are the sperms. Okay, they are here to fuse the ovum balls. We know that the outermost layer is corona radiata, next is the perivitelline, then the zona pellucida is there, that is the zellicot, next is the perivitelline space, and inner to it we have the ovum cytoplasm. So first the penetration of the sperm occurs towards the corona radiata. Okay, and then it passes to the zona pellucida where the acrosomal reactions takes place. Acrosomal reactions are the reactions. The acrosome is the part of the sperm, we all know, and they release some enzymes to digest the zona pellucida. Okay, these enzymes are called the hydrolytic enzymes. Only one sperm enters into the plasma membrane or the ovum of into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So by this process the fertilization takes place. Okay, so this structure and the points of the fertilizations are important. Okay, Next is the name the embryonic stage that gets implanted in the uterus. Explain the process of implantation. So, if we talk about the implantation process, when in the ampullary region the zygote is formed or the fertilization takes place, then there are different changes occurs in the embryonic stage. That is, the blastomeres are formed, 2-celled blastomere, 4-celled blastomere, 8-celled blastomere, then the morula, that is the 16-celled blastomeres. And at which stage the implantation occurs? That stage is called the blastocyst. This is the blastocyst. At this stage of the embryo development, the implantation occurs. The embryo is implanted into the uterus of the female. Okay, the structure of the blastocyst is also very important. The labeling is outermost is zona pellucida, then the layers of the trophoblast, inner cell mass, and the empty cavity is called the blastocele. So you have a question that at which stage the implantation occurs? That is the blastocyst stage. Okay, and this is the process of the implantation. So revise this process carefully. Next is the question number 8 is, you have a question related to the ovum or the fertilization. Sometimes you have this diagram is mentioned and you have to label X, Y and Z. Okay, so this structure is very important, and their labeling. Mention that helps the entry of the sperm into the ovum. So this question I have repeatedly asked in your previous years, that mention that helps the entry of the ovum. Okay, write the changes occurring in the ovum during the process. So, how the sperms enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So, we know that there are the acrosomal reactions takes place in which, if we see the structure of sperm, at the head region, upper the head region, there is the acrosome is present. When the sperm penetrate the walls or penetrate the zona pellucida, this acrosome part burst and release some chemicals, hydrolytic enzymes towards the zona pellucida to digest the zona pellucida, and the receptors are present on the wall of the zona pellucida that will help that sperm entry into the cytoplasm of the ovum. Okay, so the phenomena of the sperm activation in mammals is known as the capacitation. Okay, capacitation. What is capacitation? The phenomena of the sperm activation in the mammals is called the capacitation. Okay, the capacitated sperm undergoes some acrosomal reactions and release various chemicals contained in the acrosome. These chemicals are collectively called the sperm lysine. This is very important. So these chemicals are collectively called the sperm lysine, in which we have sperm lysines like hyaluronidase. These are all the enzymes. Okay, corona penetrating enzymes, zona lysine or acrosin. So, by these acrosomal reactions, by the process of the capacitation, these acrosomal reactions occurs that helps in the sperm entry into the ovum. So this process is very, very important. So you have the question in your 2023 board exams that you have this diagrams and you have to identify A, B, C and D. Okay. So this is the structure of the ovum. Okay, which is also mentioned in the NCERT textbook. So what is A? A is the, what is A? That is the layer of the, as you all can see, this is the layer, that is corona radiata. Corona radiata. Okay, and this is B. B is the perivitelline space. Perivitelline space. Okay, and what is C? This is the nucleus of the ovum. Nucleus of the ovum. Okay, and this is the D, which is the cytoplasm of the ovum, in which the cortical granules are present. Cortical granules are present. Okay, so these all labelings are mentioned in the NCERT books. Okay, so you have the question is, next question is, this ovum released from the ovary with incomplete meiotic divisions, when and where, how is the meiotic division completed? So answer of this question is, second question is that this ovum is released from the ovary with incomplete meiotic division. So this ovum is released into the ovary having incomplete meiotic divisions. When and where, how is the meiotic division completed? So we know that the meiotic division is completed before the fertilization, before the entry of the sperm into the cytoplasm of the ovum. Okay, so the entry of the sperm stimulates the egg, okay, to resume and complete the suspended meiosis 2. This produces a haploid mature ovum and second polar body. So we know that when the entry of sperms, if the entry of sperms is there, okay, that stimulate the egg to complete its meiotic division 2. And after the meiotic division completed, the ovum, mature ovum, haploid mature ovum and the secondary polar body is formed. Polar body is formed. Okay, so this is the part of your oogenesis process. Oogenesis process. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. Next question is, explain the changes that different parts of the embryo undergoes after implantation up till first is the placenta formation, second is the formation of the 3 germ layers. So the formation of the placenta is very, very important. So you all have to explain the changes that different parts of the embryo undergoes up till the placenta formation. So this is the structure of the placenta, which is formed inside the fetus of the uterus. That we know that there are different changes occurs. First, as after the implantation, the chorionic villi are formed. These are the finger-like projections are formed around the embryo, and the chorionic villi and the uterine tissues, they are collectively formed the placenta, and the formation of 3 germs layers are formed also. Okay, so we know that this is the blastocyst stage. This blastocyst stage, when at this stage the implantation takes place. Okay, so after that, this trophoblast or inner cell mass, they differentiate and form 3 germ layers. First is the ectoderm, middle is the mesoderm, C is the endoderm. Ectoderm is the outermost, mesoderm is the middle, and endoderm is the innermost germ layer. Now mention the role of the following placenta. So there are 2 major functions of the placenta. First is it supply the nutrients and oxygen to the embryo. Okay, so this is the developing embryo. It supply the nutrients and oxygen to the embryo. Second is it helps in removal of carbon dioxide and waste material from the embryo. So these are the functions of the placenta. If we talk about the germ layers, these are the germ layers. Three germ layers are present, formed from the blastocyst, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Ectoderm form the exoskeleton, mesoderm develop into organs, and endoderm forms the inner linings of the organs. So the function of each and every germ layer is important. Next question is, draw the human fetus within the uterus. This is a direct question, multiple times asked. You have to draw this diagram, and labeling of each and every diagram is important. Okay, so you know that this is the human fetus within the uterus, having the placental villi, which helps in the surface area, increase the surface area. You have the middle embryo, and this is the umbilical cord, which helps in the exchange of materials. Okay, so this is revise this diagrams carefully. Next question is, placenta act as an endocrine gland. So this question sometimes I've asked directly or indirectly. So the placenta act as an endocrine system because they secrete different hormones, like first is HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, second is human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone, and relaxin. So during the pregnancy of a woman, only three enzymes are mainly formed, that is HCG, HPL, and relaxin. And during the normal, when the that female is not pregnant, these hormones are always produced by the ovary, that is the estrogen, progesterone, thyroxine, and cortisol. So these secretions of the hormones are very, very important, and the source of a hormone and their functions are also very important. Next question is, the female reproductive system, have asked multiple times. Okay, so the labeling of each and every part is important. So revise this structure carefully. Next question is, arrange the following hormones in the sequence of their secretion in pregnant women. Okay, so these are the hormones which have mentioned. You have to arrange the hormones according to the sequence of their secretion in pregnant women. Okay, so out of this, first the secretion of the FSH, that is follicular stimulating hormone, occurs. Then secretion of LH, that is the luteinizing hormone, occurs. Next, if the woman is pregnant, then HCG is secreted, that is human chorionic gonadotropin. And the last is the relaxin. During the parturition process or during the delivery of a baby, that relaxin is released from the ovary. Okay, so this is the sequence of the hormones, their secretion in the pregnant woman. Now mention their source and the function they perform. So I have mentioned earlier that each and every hormone, their source of secretion and their function is important. So I have made the chart which shows the different hormones like LH. This is the chart of the hormones which is secreted in the human females. Okay, so this is the luteinizing hormone. Source of the luteinizing hormone is anterior pituitary. What is the function? FSH, follicular stimulating hormone, estrogen, progesterone. Okay, so these are the hormones which have secreted during when the woman is pregnant. Okay, that is HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, which is secreted by placenta. What is the function of HCG? HPL, okay, that is a human prolactin lactogen, that is the placenta, it prepares the mother body for breastfeeding. Relaxin, ovary source, then function oxytocin, prolactin. So I have mentioned each and every hormone and their source and function. You can note or draw this flow, this diagram or this table on your notebooks. Okay, so revise these diagrams repeatedly, these hormones repeatedly. Okay, next is a state, where do the signals for the parturition originate in the human females. So what is a parturition? It is the delivery of a baby That process is called the parturition. So where do the signals originate in the human females? So during the parturition, the fetal ejection reflex, that is FER, fetal ejection reflex occurs during the parturition. What happens is neuroendocrine gland, that is from the hypothalamus, the oxytocin is released. Okay, so oxytocin is released from the maternal pituitary, which is present in the hypothalamus of the brain. The strong uterine contractions occurs, then it stimulates the reflex between the uterine contraction and oxytocin secretion, and the expulsion of a baby out of the birth canal. That process is the parturition. So the signals are from the hypothalamus, that is the maternal pituitary, from where the signals originate and the oxytocin is released, then the parturition process is there. So this fetal ejection reflex process is also very important. Next question is, explain the process of the lactation, name the hormones. We know that what is lactation. Lactation is the mammary gland of the female undergo differentiated during pregnancy and starts producing the milk towards the end of the pregnancy. That is called the lactation. So what are the main hormones which helps in? Prolactin, which helps in the milk production, and oxytocin, which helps in the milk ejection. Okay, so the difference between prolactin and oxytocin is very, very important. Next question which I have asked repeatedly in your previous exams, like the structure of the human sperm. Human sperm structure is also very important. You have to mention all the labelings and write the hormones involved in sperm production. So you have the hypothalamus, gonadotropin releasing hormone secrete to the anterior pituitary, which lead to the secretion of LH and FSH. LH is luteinizing hormone, FSH is follicular stimulating hormone. LH which activate the Leydig cells, FSH which activate the Sertoli cells. Then Leydig cell release the testosterone, Sertoli cells helps in the spermiogenesis and release the androgen binding proteins. So these are the hormones which are involved in the sperm production. So these all diagrams, hormones are important. Next question is, in human female, the probability of an ovum, in human females, the probability of an ovum to get fertilized by more than one sperm is impossible. Give reason. So we know that if this is the ovum and multiple sperms attached at the outermost layer of the ovum, only one sperm will enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum. So what is the reason behind it that only one sperm enters, not more than one sperm enters into the cytoplasm of the ovum? Okay, so you have to give the reason. So we know that what is polyspermy. Polyspermy is when the egg has been fertilized by more than one egg. More than one egg. Okay, so one sperm, sorry, sperm. So polyspermy, when more than one sperm enters into the cytoplasm of the ovum and fertilization occurs more than one sperm with one egg. Okay, so that condition is called the polyspermy. So what happens is, when the single sperm approaches the ovum during the fertilization, the acrosomal reactions takes place. Acrosomal reactions takes place. I have mentioned earlier what are the different enzymes secreted by the acrosomes. Okay, so these acrosomal reactions, the sperm acrosome connects to the receptors to the egg membrane and fuse the zona pellucida. Okay, zona pellucida. When one sperm enters the zona pellucida, passes the zona pellucida and enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum, then in the cytoplasm of the ovum, there are cortical granules are present. Cortical granules are present. So what is the function of the cortical granules? It prevent the polyspermy. Okay. So it prevents the polyspermy by passing the signal towards the membranes of the ovum. Okay, so what is the function of the what is the function of the cortical granules? Cortical granules, these are the granules which are present in the cytoplasm of the ovum. It passes the signals towards the layers of the ovum that prevent the polyspermy that will degenerate other sperms which are present at the membrane of the ovum. Okay, so by this reaction, once one sperm enter the egg, the zona pellucida becomes the resistant to the sperm binding and penetration due to the cortical reactions. Okay, so that's why, this is the reason, that's why an ovum to get fertilized by more than one sperm is impossible. So this question have repeatedly asked in your previous exam. So make sure these all terms, cortical reactions, acrosomal reactions, what is polyspermy, how polyspermy is prevented, what is the function of the cortical granules in the polyspermy. So these all types of questions have asked in your previous exam. The last question of this lecture is related to the mammary glands. We know that what is the mammary gland in the female, that is the human breast. Okay, so in 2023 this structure have asked and you have to label 1, 2 and 3. So when and how does fetal ejection reflex begin? So we have already discussed the fetal ejection reflex. Okay, so this is the answer of this question. Next is, pituitary gland and uterine muscles play important role during the parturition. Explain. Okay, so the answer of this question is, we know that pituitary glands like FSH and luteinizing hormone. Okay, so these are the hormones which are released by the pituitary glands. Okay, and if we talk about the parturition process, that is during the delivery of a baby, the main pituitary gland which is secreted, which provide the signal towards the uterine muscles for the contraction, that is the oxytocin. So the pituitary gland release the oxytocin that will help in the uterine contraction during the parturition. Okay, parturition. Next is, the functional mammary gland is characteristics of all female mammals. Given below the diagrammatically sectional view of the mammary gland. Identify 1, 2 and 3 part, mention their structure. So this is the structure you have mentioned. So you have to label this structure. So we know that this part is called the lactiferous duct. Okay, so this third part is lactiferous duct. As you all can see, this part is the lactiferous duct and this part is nipples. Okay, second is this part. These are the mammary alveoli, where the milk secrete or store. Alveoli where the milk secrete or store. Next part is, this is the mammary lobes. Okay, so this structure, if I enlarge this structure, so this structure we have mentioned in the previous classes and each and every part is important. So what happens is, the breast contains the glandular tissues and fats. Okay, the glandular tissues are made up of 15 to 20 mammary lobes. This is the mammary lobes. Then the cluster of cells of it, we have the alveoli. What is the function of alveoli? Alveoli secrete milk and store in the lumen of the alveoli. Alveoli opens into the mammary tubules. This is the mammary tubules. Next, mammary tubules opens into the mammary duct. Then the mammary duct wider their surface and forms the mammary ampulla. This is the mammary ampulla. Mammary ampulla opens into the lactiferous duct. Okay, and through the nipples the milk is sucked out by the baby. So this structure and each and every part of this structure is important. So these all are the questions which have asked in your PYQs, previous year's class 12th board from 2019 to 2024. Okay, so this chapter human reproduction is itself very important. Okay, so make sure that revise all the topics from this chapter carefully, and hormones are also very important. If you like this lecture, like, share and subscribe my channel, that is Prep Biology. Keep studying, keep learning. Thank you so much.